All right, right now we are going to go visit the great Herlin Riley at his regular gig at the Bayou Bar inside the Pontchartrain Hotel. I've really grown to love going to hear Herlin in this context because you can be right there up close with him and you hear him without any microphones and you're just right there in the room. There's no stage, so you're on the same level and you're just really close and up close and personal. And he's playing his butt off these days at this gig. And it's just such a wonderful setting to hear him in. And over the years, I've gotten to know Herlin. And, I approach him and say, man, is there anything I can get you? Maybe could I get you a glass of wine or something? So if I know what he wants, I usually try to get that before the set is over and present that to him when he's coming from behind the drums and say, my man, what was that you were playing? Or, man, tell me about this. And I've gotten so many great 5-minute lessons with Herlin, as well as with Shannon and with Johnny V. And, these things add up and you really start to accumulate some real, beautiful, real world knowledge when you approach these masters in this way. So Herlin was gracious enough to talk to us on his break at one of his recent Bayou Bar gigs. So let's go now and let's check out Mr. Herlin Riley.
So, man, certainly better than ever.
Oh man, work in progress. Like we all along.
We all are, and you know this, but I'm gonna tell you this for posterity. You're an inspiration, not just to me, but everybody's talking about how you get better with age, and it's not age, it's experience, right? I mean, you're just gaining more musical experience. You're playing with more joy than ever. And what I want to talk about is the importance of people, young drummers, young musicians, anybody who might be watching this, how important it is to go and see people play, to actually go out and hear people play. People are going to be watching this online, and that's cool, but you can't learn music just by watching online.
Well, this music is about the human experience and the human the giving and take of the spirit. When we play, that there's a certain chemistry, certain spirit that people embodies, and so when you interact with certain people, when you play with each musician that you play with, you'll find something that you'll feel different if you're really in tune to the music, because just like everybody has their own speaking voice that's unique to them, they have their own musical voice that's unique to them as well. So the music is about a conversation. It's about having a dialogue. And when you have a dialogue, you have to, a dialogue is about listening and also engaging. So when you listen, that means that listening is different from hearing. When you're listening to somebody else who's playing, then that means that you focus on what they're doing, and then you have an opportunity to engage in what they're doing. If you're just hearing it, it becomes like music and something in the background. Like you thought of your own thing, and then you're not engaging. So when you're actually listening to people that you're playing with, then you find a way that you can interact with them through the musical experience. And it's important that you when you're playing that you get a chance to listen to people. Also, it's important that you go out and hear other people play, because the importance of that is that there's a language that's being spoken all the time in the music, and then there's a vocabulary. So when you out here play, then you get the chance to experience their vocabulary and hear also the possibilities of which you can do on your instrument, and it's also inspiring to hear other people play. When I was growing up, I went out and heard everybody playing, and not only just in one particular style. I heard playing so many different various genres of music. I got to hear Herlin Riley, who's a master playing. He played the brushes. He played unorthodox. Okay, he played right-handed, and with his hands, but his feet were left hand. Where his hi-hat was on the right side, and the bass drum came with the left foot. And so I got to watch him play. I got to see Louis Barber play at Preservation Hall. That we played an early traditional jazz style. Louis and Cole Barber played the early traditional style. I got to hear James Black play. I got to interact with him and play him. How he played the more modern kind of style, playing different odd meters and time signatures and that kind of thing. But also having a command of the form that he was playing in. Smokey Johnson, Smokey Johnson played, in a way that were very uh, in the pocket, always playing in the pocket. My uncle Walter Lasky, then Puppy, he played. I watched him play. I watched so many different other tribute back. The names are kind of slipping right now at the moment. But I watched any and everybody. And when I was growing up, one of the few white guys that I really checked out, man, was Ricky Sebastian. Ricky Sebastian, man, he had some stuff. He still can play, and also Johnny too, Johnny Radakovich. I mean, I checked out Johnny as well, coming up, and so all these I heard all the different music, and so it was all these different vocabulary stuff from these different people that helps you to shake your home style. You take a little bit from this one, a little bit from that one, a little bit from this, and then you try to embody some of the things that you hear, and it helps you to form your own style or your own vocabulary on the drum yourself. And then only on the drum, but on the temporary style.
And I could hear a lot of the guys that you're talking about. I didn't get to hear Vaudran's, but tonight I definitely heard Jay's Black, definitely heard Smokey Johnson. And as Ivan Neville was walking out, he said to me, he said, man, Zach Hurls, bang, and stuff. He said, man, I'm here. He sounds like a mix between Smokey and James Black. Am I right? Am I right? I was like, bro, you hit the nail on the head. And I can hear that combination of things. And just to piggyback on everything you're saying, hearing all these things and putting them together, but something that you can only get in person is when I come and hear you and you're feeding off the energy of the crowds, right? And then when you sometimes ask me to sit in, and I better sit in after hearing you, and the crowd just gave you a standing ovation, and I get up and say, well, what am I gonna do now? But that makes me try to play better than I ever have in my life because you're listening.
Well, the thing about that is that you can't worry about what somebody else is playing they're doing, and because it's not a competition, it's about speaking your own voice, right? It's about having your own voice. When you have your own voice, and then you have to stand on it. You have to take ownership of your own voice and play with the same eviction, same intensity, same commitment, and you may not be able to have the same amount of chops because that everybody else does. Everybody else has different levels of chops and all that kind of, but that doesn't mean anything. It's about you speak and communicate to the audience that knows you priors, and that's the most important thing. And you when you speak to an audience, you speak to them more. Your truth is more powerful than the licks or than chops and find all those things. When you speak with your truth and your conviction, your commitment, wherever you are in the music, that speaks loud volumes to an audience and to people that you're playing.
Yeah, and they're put in that position of having to play for some of your drumming usable heroes. You can't get that anywhere else than being in person and seeing live person. First, you got to do it in person.
But one person I left out that I did go to check out was Zigabun, man. Zig was more or less, with the foam stuff, foam. And so that's another thing. See, I checked out different people playing different styles of music, and I played different styles of music here in New Orleans. And so it was like a sponge growing up, checking out all kinds of different kinds of music, man. Hector Gallardo, man, he's older now, but I learned so much from Hector Gallardo about playing Cuban music, and that kind of, even a guy that was around town back then, his name was Mark Sanders. Mark Sanders played percussion. So I would check out all these people playing, man, and I wasn't afraid to ask them for information. Also, I checked out Elvin Jones. I met Elvin Jones in London in 1981. He was doing something on the drums, man. And after the show, I went to him. I said, Elvin, what are you doing? He set me down at the drum set and gave me a lesson right on the spot. A lesson, the great Elvin Jones. But fast forward about 20 years later, I was playing with Winston Marsalis. And then Elvin heard me playing a New Orleans street beat. And so he wanted to know how to play the street beat. So I did an Elvin lesson in playing the street beat. So what that speaks of, it speaks of humility. And humility allows you have to have two things working for you at the same time when you trying to go to another level. That's humility and confidence. I'm giving you a lot.
At the same time.
I'm giving you a lot. Humility and confidence. Humility allows you to always be able to receive information and always be open to information, to know that you're not the greatest, you're not the, that there's always someone who has something to say, but you have to have the humility to be able to hear them and to be able to appreciate the way they do. That's humility. The confidence says I can stand tall and have ownership of what I'm doing. But it's a balance, because too much confidence becomes ego, and too much humility becomes low self-esteem. And when you have too much ego, then that means I know it all. Nobody can tell me anything. Now I that. And then that's the moment that you start growing.
Yeah. And you can't let that happen. That's right. That's right. Well, bro, thank you so much for talking to me. And I think, what I wanted to get to is have to go to hear people in person and approach that. And just now I offered you a glass of wine and I got to talk to you for 5 minutes and I just got life lessons that I'll keep with me forever. But that's how we learn and grow.
And that's the same thing that happened with me with Elvin Jones. When I heard Elvin Jones playing and he was doing, and I wanted to know what he did, and he showed me. He sat down and had a conversation with me behind the drum to show me exactly what he was doing. And that's how we grow. It's about an exchange and having a dialogue, because the music is bigger than the individual. And I always never give me a lot. I did like my whole thing. This music is like the queen bee, and we are the workers to keep the bee alive. So the art form of what we're doing is the queen bee. We are the workers to keep the art form alive. And how do we keep it alive? By passing it on to the next generation and to people who are coming behind us, to give them the information, to share our information and our knowledge with them, so that the music is perpetuated, keeps going, and we're protecting the queen bee, the art form.
That's yours, G-Pod.
Thank you, Rue. It's there. I appreciate you so much, brother. It's there.
I hope that you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed bringing this one to you. I always love getting to hang with Herlin and picking up on some of his wonderful real-world advice and wisdom. And if you dug this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I'm putting out new videos. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you down the line.